Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐑𝐄𝐔, talk about investing, finance, and professional development. So current time of 8:10 a.m. on Eastern Time on August 30th on Tuesday. Ethereum cleared $1,588, up about 2.3% so far. On the overall crypto market, on this morning so far, I would say across the board we are relatively flat to up, but we're not up because there's anything specifically macro or microly positive, but it's just because the overall market has been quite submerged relatively sharply, as we obviously got the signal from Jerome Powell on the Jackson Hole speech last Friday. And then as that happens, we get additional catalysts onto foreshadowing what will be happening on the upcoming CPI report, the upcoming FOMC meeting, and some other exogenous factors that it seems like could be potential headwind based on our collective observation so far. So with respect to recent observation, what are some of the things that we need to look out for today? So on Tuesday, we will be getting several updates on the states of the economy again, including the FAFA Home Price Index for June and Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Survey for August. And with respect to the Bureau of Labor Statistics job opening release number for July as well. So there'll be some numbers around, both consumer slash domestic expenditure type of activities. But these are more like stale numbers, like June, July, which we're in August already. But obviously these numbers takes time to calculate and to formalize a report, or type of has to be some sort of a digestion of insights for investors to understand what have really been happening. But it still had a contingent on the outcome of the reports. It can still drive some stir emotionally for investors. And obviously we heard from Jerome on Friday, right, that he made it very clear, with the aggressive vocabularies that he used during his speech, that the central bank is going to be aiming to continue its rate hikes, even though it might cause more economical pain. And this is not just applicable to the U.S. market, but also the European Central Bank said something very similar to that as well. So, and also a lot of major investment banks are saying that they believe that the market rallied, I guess during the summer, is is kind of more of a short-sighted in a way, and they believe that we should continue to be selective and focus on selective stocks that are a little bit more defensive, like healthcare, for example, or dividend-paying stocks, to ensure that you're preserving your capital logically. So without wasting more time, obviously today is still going to be some catalyst that we need to look out for, but nothing major. I think the major catalyst that we should experience, we might be seeing some transitionatory period, on Wednesday, as it's the last day of August, shifting onto September. Like typically a shift of a month, and again, September has always been a red month, for crypto especially. We might be seeing some more normalization, if this bullishness that we're seeing don't plan out. So let's just take a look at the technical without wasting more time. So respect to recording time of 8:14 a.m. on the Eastern time. Right now we're at 1589. So we are basically above the 1550, going to the 1650 as the next level. So you can see that on the daily we are gliding, consolidating, and we are at the 67 at this out of 70 at the moment. So next level of resistance is going to be 50. And then on a weekly, it's going to be, it's still bearish, right? You can see that we've crossed up for quite some time with the 42 out of 70. So we might hit a blockade at 48 out of 70 on a weekly. And then on a monthly, we're still bullish, right? However, the weekly is indicating that weeks out, we should ideally see some normalization, some negative pressure. Daily looks okay. So we might actually see, some propelment all the way to like 1650, or maybe meeting again with 1700, but that's about it because the weekly is indicating that we should ideally see some normalization. And then for Bitcoin, again, right, we're quite fused together on a weekly, so it's stale. not moving up or down. But on the monthly, like talk about like Q4 much later down the year, we should ideally see some bullish reversal from here. And then on a daily, you could see that we are, looking to meet with a level of 41 out of 70. So ideally matching with 21,500 again would not be a surprise to us. But with the near-term CPI report, the FOMC meeting, which both of the I would say in terms of flipping a coin or which side of the spectrum are we going to be going into, I would say, the anticipatory pressure as we're shifting closer to the, the CPI report release and the FOMC meeting again, it's just it's going to be more anticipatory pressure that will lean more towards the negative side of the spectrum. So we see how that goes, right? Ultimately, it's there's some psychological element into it, so we have to kind of observe how the media will also manipulate and kind of make some stir that sometimes we might not be able to predict them, in our best capability, right? Because like people at the end of the day, most are, despite we say that the news are old news, like we know, right? It's still, drive the collective effort of the market to feel a certain way. So that's why we have to be selective reader, right? So anyways, again, right, similar pattern. Daily looks okay. We might see a little bit upside, but weeks out we should see some normalization, very minimally for Bitcoin, but more severely for Ethereum. But months out we should ideally see some bullish reversal. And then across all the other altcoins, I would say it's quite comparable in terms of affectation. And by the way, I decided to just give you guys a bonus on the Patreon by basically fusing the stock updates and also the crypto updates together in one file. So feel free to check it out. I think it's easier for you guys to read, so you guys don't have to like go through each file. And also I obviously combine the ARK Invest and also the BlackRock buy sell hold signal as well. So feel free to triangulate those as well. And as for the politicians' trade reports, like Nancy Pelosi's trades or some other politicians' trade reports, I'll look out for those to see, is there a report or some sort of a track record that they track that I can see their daily buy sell hold activities, because that'll be interesting to understand like how they're thinking about the upcoming activities that we might not be aware of, because like ultimately we only know what the news feeds us, right? So I appreciate you. Have a good day. I'm going to be heading out to some meetings later today, so that's why I record kind of a little bit earlier than usual. But appreciate you. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you on maybe later today or tomorrow. See ya.